Live and direct. It's Sway in the morning.
Right here on Shade 45.
Kelly Kinkaid.
All right, 18 minutes into the hour. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. We like to do this segment every week. You know, it's not just about the entertainment world and pop culture and politics. All
it's about you.
It's about you, the listeners.
Yes.
The citizens.
And
you know, we always want to improve
your mind, your body, your soul. So we talk about various subjects, you know. And Sway, let me just get started because we have a special guest here. The holiday season is here. And this brings a lot for a lot of people like to be with their family, a lot don't. You know, relationships, a lot of people are going to be together. So we want to talk about holiday harmony. So today we have Dr. Jeff. He's a psychologist and a media personality that you've seen on various shows, CNN, I Dream of Nene, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I just saw him on a Marvin Gaye criminal, what was it?
Celebrity Files.
Celebrity Files
Yeah.
last night.
Right.
He's everywhere.
And
He's
let's not forget Love and Hip Hop.
That's right, Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop.
You're going to be helping Peter Guns out.
Well, listen, I've been speaking with Mona Scott Young. I'm actually signed to a deal with Mona Me Entertainment. And Mona, you know, she's an icon in the business world right now. And so we've got some things coming up.
Well, Dr. Jeff, speaking of Peter Guns and Love and Hip Hop, holiday season is here. So people who do watch this show.
You want to get me focused, don't you?
Yes.
All right.
Peter Guns, so he has a wife.
Yeah.
He has Tara, who he has kids with. What does Peter do during this holiday time? How does he find harmony in his holiday time?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to talk about Peter specifically,
Yes.
but believe it or not, there are a lot of other folks who've got that same baby mama drama. I'm actually going through the same thing myself. Not that I have a bunch of women. and the funny thing is, here I am with my old behind, right?
Yeah.
57 years old. I know in this industry you're not supposed to talk about how old you are. 57 years old. I keep running into these much younger women, 20, 23, 24, and to me, that's a fool's errand. You know what I'm saying? And so I met one last night while I was out, and I was like, listen, why don't you come on over to my crib?
Damn.
She was like, really? I was like, yeah, I got a crib right next to my bed. I can tuck you in, give you a bottle, we good to go. But what do we do? No, true story. True story. So what do we do? And I have the same, because no, seriously.
You got to give us a second to laugh at that, man. Hold on, man. You just can't talk through that, Dr. Jeff.
I talk through it all the time,
okay.
you know?
All right, go for it.
Dr. Jeff,
All right. I'm all talking, no action.
Okay,
Don't get me started.
Okay, go ahead. What did you
But
do?
here's the situation, right? Even with my own divorce,
Yes.
so what do we do? Who gets to keep the kids for the holiday and so on? So as much as we may have animosity towards one another, and we always do, all right? Let's get that straight. When there's baby mama or baby daddy drama, there's animosity. You've got to bury that for the holidays because it is about the kids.
Absolutely.
It is about the needs of the many versus the needs of the few. So you do begin to work on a schedule. Don't wait the day before Christmas, day before Hanukkah, day before Thanksgiving. You work that out a couple of weeks in advance, and you keep that mindset of, where can we bring happiness? Because that's what it should be about. So many people are so stressed out, and then they begin fighting, and it becomes a horrible situation for the children.
A lot of people are going to be dealing with their baby's fathers, their baby's mothers, family members who are irritating, and there's going to be a lot of anxiety and anxious people. How to deal with this? So we wanted to find out from Dr. Jeff. Give us some tips.
Well, the first tip is what I see a lot of what you're doing, which is to direct.
Yeah.
You have to produce. You can't just say, okay, we're having a free-for-all, for Christmas, everybody come over. You might look at perhaps having 2 or 3 separate little events, and where you see the chemistry is that putting certain people together will be volatile and may blow something up, then you need to separate them. Same thing, as far as if you have an uncle who drinks too much, somebody who may be addicted to drugs or what have you, you should minimize the alcohol as much as possible. Perhaps don't have hard alcohol there, a little bit of wine, and serve the alcoholic beverages after dinner or while dinner is being while dinner's being served, but not too much booze before while people are sitting around and so on. You also set rules at the table. I do that all the time. Here are some of the things that I think are off limits as far as what we're going to be discussing. I know a lot of people are going to be discussing Obamacare, Affordable Health Care Act. So what you do is set the parameters. Well, I have an international dinner. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of white folks, you know, Jewish folks, Asian folks, and, you know, people are not seeing eye to eye on this Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
So what I do is I do things like setting certain rules as to not to step on the other person, listen to what they have to say, and setting the perception, let's learn from one another today. It's not about drowning out somebody else or making a point to destroy someone else.
Yeah. All right. You know, I want to go to the phone lines.
Absolutely.
A lot of people have a lot of things they want to ask you about. David is in Washington. David, what's going on? Good morning, David. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Say hello to Dr. Jeff.
Yeah, how you doing, doctor?
I'm doing well, David. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I actually right now I'm on my way to drop off my daughter. Like, my girl just walked out on me yesterday, and she left me with a kid. And I'm a perfect father. I do everything for my kid. And you know, she had previously put me on child support. I'm in the Navy. I was paying $1,200 a month and still providing for my kid on the side. You know, I don't let that bullshit get in between us or whatever. That's my kid. You know, I provide. And I just feel like, I think it is the monetary, the money. As far as like when it comes to holidays, she had to work 2 jobs, so I think that's stressing her out. You know, and I took a big pay cut coming up here, so it's hard. It is hard during the holidays.
Well, I would say to you the most important thing is, yeah, she may have walked out on you yesterday, but she'll be back again probably sometime this afternoon. You could trust me on that one. Because her walking out on you means that she's upset, she's frustrated. I would assume that she's a good mother, always has been a good mother to your children. Let's just assume that because you say you're the perfect father, so we're giving you those props too, right? We're giving you unconditional positive regard. But the most important thing during the holiday season, if you are the one who ends up having the kids, and that's a blessing in itself, give the children and her every opportunity to get together. Okay, don't make it like, okay, well, you walked out, I got the kids, you know, later for you. No matter what her faults may be or your faults may be, always open it with kindness and let her know if you want to take the kids on a certain day, you can have them. I think that's really important. And you're modeling behaviors for her. And I know this is easier said than done because I've been down this road before. Try not to badmouth mom in front of the kids. You see your mother? If she really cared, she wouldn't have walked out on you. Don't do that to the children. That's between you and the mother. But again, give her every opportunity to make amends, and you guys talk about what's going on.
Hey, Dave, hey, have a good holiday, okay, David?
All right, thanks, Sway.
And take that advice, too, brother. All right, Anita in New Mexico. Say hello to Anita, y'all.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Hi. I was just calling because my boyfriend, his mother lost her dad last weekend, so it doesn't really feel like the holidays. And I kind of want to do something to, like, cheer her up. Me and him have been together for, like, 7 years, and we have a 3-year-old son, so she's kind of like my mother, too, and I kind of want to help her out.
Well, the most important thing that you can do is, first of all, just be there for her. Be a shoulder. Let her know whatever she wants to discuss, whatever she wants to say as she goes through the grieving process, that you and her son will be there for her. Number one. Number two, you shouldn't put the holidays on hold. She may need this as in some ways, as a balm, B-A-L-M, on her wounds of losing her longtime husband. So invite her to everything, even cajole her, if you can, to being there for the holidays, because then you can make the celebration in memory of your father-in-law, let's say, who is no longer there. Celebrate his memory. And that's what the holiday should be about. Sway, you talked about the person may not be there. They may be deceased or something is going on. So you celebrate their memory. We just cannot let the holidays slip by as they have in the past couple of years, not celebrating good cheer, not celebrating our spirituality, not celebrating the ties that we have. I think Christmas and a lot of holidays are sort of disappearing. We can't let that happen. We must be together and we must recreate the tradition of sharing and love and joy.
Okay.
You know, Dr. Jeff, we've been talking about families, how to keep the harmony, and with your baby daddies, baby mamas, how to keep harmony. And I wanted to ask you a question with your family dinners. What about those people who need to please and scared to tell people, you know what, I don't want you to drink today. I don't want any arguments. How do those pleasers handle that?
Well, I first of all, don't wait until it's the time of the dinner to tell people that. So when you're sending out the invitations, you might put in the invitation that there may be drinking during dinner. You know, just set the ground rules. If you're afraid to tell the person face to face, then put it on the little card that you're sending out. That's a great way of getting your message across and are able to still maintain your own self-esteem.
We got Adam on the line from North Dakota. Say hello to Dr. Jeff, Adam.
Hey, Dr. Jeff.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, all right, so kind of like a Dan Rather 60-minute question. I'll try to keep it short. About a year and a half ago, found out my brother had done some really horrible things to my wife after we had borrowed some money from him, and I haven't talked to him really since. I mean, we're close after my dad passed away, and, you know, the time of the year is coming up again where, you know, I want to try and make the family thing again, but I just don't know how to go about trying to bring it up and to my wife, trying to talk to him again.
Well, I would say the first and foremost, yes, talk to your wife as to how she feels about your brother being there. I would assume he's probably said some things about her that he's not crazy about. So ask her how she feels and what she believes the greater mission is as far as family harmony, because that harmony is important. Secondly, before you bring your brother back into the dinner, you need to talk to him offline, one-on-one, and let him know how you feel as to what happened. And does he understand what it is that he's done and what the two of you can do together? Whatever you do, don't confront him, but let him have the space to be able to discuss what he really felt and then be able to bring him back in line so it can be more harmonious. But again, leave it open to him to be there.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, I do understand that, but the thing is that when it comes down to it, it wasn't so much a verbal thing that he had done. It was more like he did some things to her.
He did what?
He did some things to her.
Did he physically assault her?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's where I'm torn in between the pickle here, where, you know, he's the only part of the family I have left. I mean, everybody else either passed away or in a different country. We don't really talk to anybody.
All right, I hear you. Well, you know, there comes a pecking order in family. I believe children and women first. Your children, number one. Was always in my marriage, and maybe why I'm divorced now, wife number two, right? But certainly they're on the pecking order before your brother. If your brother physically assaulted your wife, it's totally up to your wife as to whether she wants him to be there, number one, and number two, what the behavior will be that you predicate, the rules that you give him about keeping his hands to himself and apologizing. You have a lot of work to do before you bring them to the table. You do that offline first.
Adam, let me suggest this too, if you don't mind. I think you guys could talk offline personally. Is that all right with you, Dr.
Yeah,
Jeff?
absolutely. I would set up something for them.
Adam, would you be open to talking with Dr. Jeff offline?
Absolutely.
Hold on the line, Adam. Okay, hold on the line, and then we'll connect you two. All right, Dr. Jeff, I want to thank you for coming by this morning.
Oh, it's a pleasure as always.
All right,
right.
And people can reach you on Twitter if they want to ask you questions.
That's right. At Dr. Jeff Gardere, they can find me on Facebook. They can find me anywhere.
All right.
I'm all over the place.
Yes, you are, man.
Thank
Especially
you.
on Love and Hip Hop and all that stuff.
But I'm over here right now.
But you're gonna be one of the topics on Love and Hip Hop. You're gonna be Peter Gunn. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
Peter's a good friend of mine.
Did you say God forbid?
No.
I've got a lot of work to do with Peter. We're working on that too.
Peter's doing okay. Though, man.
You're listening to Sway in the morning
on Shea 45.